Welcome back to Tales of the Dark tonight. Don't watch this alone because these are not just empty places, these are places that change. When no one is around and once you notice it, it starts noticing you. Story 1, the floor that shouldn't exist. I wasn't supposed to be there that late. The mall closed at 9, I checked, but my shift ended at 10:30. Cleaning crew, simple job, empty stores, quiet halls, nothing unusual, at least that's what I thought. I had been working there for about 3 weeks, same routine every night. Start from the top floor, work my way down, food court last, lock up, leave. Nothing ever changed until that night. It started small, something I almost ignored, the escalator. It was running, but the power on that side of the mall was off. I knew that for a fact. Half the lights were out. Maintenance had been working on it all week, but the escalator kept moving, slow, steady, like it didn't need electricity. I stood there for a few seconds, watching it, trying to make sense of it. Probably backup power, that's what I told myself. Even though I knew that wasn't how it worked, I stepped onto it. The metal creaked under my weight. The sound echoed louder than it should have, because the mall was completely empty. No music, no footsteps, no voices, just that low mechanical hum as the escalator carried me up. But something felt wrong. Halfway up, I noticed something. The floor above looked darker than usual, not just dim, different, like the lights weren't just off, like they weren't there at all. I stepped off at the top, and immediately the air changed, colder still. The kind of stillness that makes you aware of your own breathing. I looked around, same layout, same stores, but something felt off, like everything was slightly out of place. I walked forward slowly, checking the store fronts, all closed, metal shutters down, nothing unusual. But then I noticed something on the wall, the directory. I had passed it every night, same map, same floors, but this time something was different. There was an extra level listed between the second and third floor. Level 2B. My chest tightened. That wasn't there before. I stepped closer. Reading it again, level 1, level 2. Level 2B, level 3, no explanation, no store listings, just there. I frowned. Maybe it had always been there. Maybe I just never noticed, but that didn't sit right because I knew this place. I walked it every night. I would have seen it. That's when I heard something, a faint sound above me, footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming from the floor above. My head snapped up, but the ceiling blocked everything. There was no way to see. Security, I muttered, but it didn't sound like normal footsteps. They were too spaced out. Too controlled, like whoever it was walking carefully, or not walking at all. The sound stopped, instantly, like it knew I was listening. The silence returned, heavier this time. I stepped back slightly, trying to shake the feeling, trying to go back to normal. But then the escalator behind me changed. The direction reversed, without warning, without sound, now going down. My chest tightened. Okay, that's not normal. I turned fully toward it, watching it move, slow, steady, like it was waiting, like it wanted me to use it. But something inside me said no, don't. I looked back at the directory, at that extra level, level 2B, and without thinking, I made a decision. Instead of going down, I went up the stairs to the next floor because I needed to know. If that level existed, I had to see it. The stairwell was darker than the rest of the mall. Emergency lights barely working. Each step echoed loudly, too loudly, like the space was bigger than it should be. I reached the next floor, pushed the door open, and froze because this floor wasn't right. The layout was the same, but everything else was wrong. The lights were dim, flickering. Some stores were open, not fully, just enough to see inside. But there were no signs, no branding, no products, just empty interiors like placeholders. My breathing slowed. What is this? I stepped forward, carefully listening, and then I saw movement at the far end of the hall. A figure, walking, slow, crossing from one side to the other. I took a step forward. Hey, no response. The figure didn't stop, didn't react, just kept moving, then disappeared behind a corner. I moved faster now, trying to catch up, turning the same corner, but when I did, there was no one there. The hallway was empty completely. My chest tightened. No way. That's when I noticed something else. On the wall, near one of the open stores, a security camera, old, slightly tilted, pointing directly at me. I stared at it for a second too long because something about it felt wrong, like it wasn't just recording, like it was watching. And then I saw the screen. Inside the store, a small monitor showing the camera feed. I stepped closer, slowly, and looked at it. What I saw made my chest drop completely. It was me, standing there, looking at the screen, but something was wrong, because on the monitor I wasn't alone. There was someone standing behind me, close, too close, and slowly on the screen. It started to lean toward me, like it was about to speak. Some places don't exist on maps, some places aren't meant to be found, and some only appear when you're already too far into live. Story level 2B. I didn't turn around, not immediately. Because the moment I saw that screen, my body just froze. On the monitor, I was standing there, exactly where I was now, facing forward, but behind me something was there, close, leaning in. Its shape wasn't clear, not fully human, not something I could describe. But I knew one thing instantly: if I turned around, I would see it. And something in me knew I wasn't supposed to. My breathing slowed, not because I was calm, but because I was trying not to react, trying not to let it know that I knew. The figure on the screen leaned closer, slowly, like it was studying me or waiting. Then the feed glitched just for a second, static, a flicker, and when it came back, I was alone, nothing behind me, nothing at all. I stood there for a few seconds longer, then slowly, I stepped away from the monitor, without turning, without looking back. I moved into the hallway again, my footsteps quieter now, more careful, because something had changed. The mall didn't feel empty anymore. It felt occupied, like I had crossed into something else, something that was already active. I walked forward slowly, trying to find the stairs again, trying to leave this floor, but the hallway didn't look the same anymore. The path I came from was gone, replaced by a longer stretch of stores, all open, all empty. My chest tightened. No, this isn't right. I kept walking, faster now, turning corners, trying to retrace my steps, but every turn led somewhere new, nothing repeated, nothing matched. The layout was shifting, quietly, constantly, like the place didn't want me to find my way back. That's when I noticed something on the wall, another directory. But this one was different. It didn't show the normal floors, only one, level 2B. My breathing stopped, because under it there were labels, not store names, not brands, just descriptions. Observation area, waiting section, entry point, and one more at the very bottom. Vacant. I stared at that word. Something about it felt wrong, not just the meaning, the way it was written, like it wasn't labeling a space, like it was describing something or someone. A faint sound echoed through the hallway, footsteps. But this time they weren't above me, they were on the same floor, close. My chest tightened instantly. I stepped back, listening. The footsteps were slow, measured, getting closer, not rushing, not chasing, just approaching, like it knew I wasn't going anywhere. I looked around quickly. The open stores, the empty interiors, nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. The footsteps stopped. Right outside the hallway, just beyond the corner, I held my breath, waiting, and then a shadow stretched across the floor, long, distorted, not matching anything normal. It moved slightly, like whoever was casting it was adjusting their stance. I stepped back slowly, trying not to make a sound. But my shoe scraped lightly against the floor, and the moment it did, the shadow snapped toward me. Instant, too fast. My heart slammed against my chest. The footsteps resumed, faster now, closing the distance. I turned and ran through the hallway, past the empty stores, ignoring everything else. Just moving, trying to get away, but the hallway stretched, longer, wider, like it was expanding, keeping me inside. The footsteps followed, not running, still that same pace, but somehow getting closer anyway. I reached another intersection, turned sharply, and stopped, because in front of me was something I hadn't seen before. A door, plain, unmarked, slightly open. Light coming from inside, real light, not flickering, not dim, normal. My chest tightened. An exit? I didn't think. I moved toward it, fast, pushed the door open and stepped inside, and immediately everything changed. The air felt normal again, the lighting steady, the walls clean. It looked like a security room. Monitors lined across the wall, showing different parts of the mall, normal parts, the real mall, not this place, not level 2B. My breathing slowed slightly. Okay. I stepped closer to the screens, looking for something familiar, the main entrance, the escalators, anything, and then I saw it. One of the monitors showed the floor I was just on. Level 2B, except it didn't look like what I saw. It looked empty, completely empty, no lights. No open stores, just darkness. I frowned. That's not right. And then I saw something move. On the screen, a figure standing in the middle of the hallway, facing the camera, still watching. My chest tightened because I recognized it. The same shape, the same presence from the reflection, from the shadow. And then on the monitor, it tilted its head, slowly, like it knew I was watching it. And then all the screens went black. At once, the room dropped into darkness. And behind me, I heard the door close. Some places don't just trap you. They prepare you, they study you, and when the time comes, they replace you. Story vacant, the door shut behind me, not loudly, not violently, just a soft click, but it echoed like something final. I didn't turn around because I already knew it wasn't going to open again. The room was completely dark now. No monitors, no lights, nothing, just silence, heavy, pressing against my ears. I stood there trying to slow my breathing, trying to think, but thinking wasn't helping anymore, because everything I thought I understood was gone. The mall, the layout, the exits. None of it mattered here. This place, level 2B, didn't follow anything normal. A faint sound broke the silence. A low hum, electrical, somewhere in the room. Then one of the monitors flickered back on. A dim glow filled the space, then another. And another, until the entire wall lit up again. But this time they weren't showing the mall, they were showing me different angles, different positions, standing in this same room, but not all at the same time. Some of them I wasn't facing the screens, some I was closer to the door. Some I wasn't even standing still. I was moving, pacing, looking around like those moments had already happened or were about to. My chest tightened. What is this? I stepped closer, looking at one of the screens, and that's when I noticed something in every version of me. There was something behind me, sometimes far, sometimes close, but always there, that same figure, watching, following, waiting. A cold feeling spread through my body because it wasn't random. It wasn't just showing me, it was showing me progression, like it was tracking something, tracking how close it was getting. Or how close I was getting to it. Another screen flickered, this one different. It showed the directory, the one from level 2B, but zoomed in on that last word. Vacant, the letters glitched slightly, then changed, not completely, just enough to understand. Vacant became occupant, my breathing stopped. No. The lights flickered again, and suddenly the room felt smaller, not physically, but like the walls were closer. The air tighter, like something had entered the space. Without opening the door, without making a sound, I felt it immediately. That presence, stronger than before, closer than ever, right behind me. My entire body locked up, because I knew this time it wasn't just watching, it had reached me. A slow breath touched the back of my neck, cold, unnatural, and then a voice, not loud, not distorted, clear, calm, right next to my ear. You stayed. My chest tightened painfully. I didn't mean to. You entered. I was just working. You continued. Each word felt like something being confirmed, not argued, not questioned, decided. The monitors behind me flickered again. Every version of me on the screens turned slowly, facing the same direction. Towards something behind them, toward it. My hands started shaking. What do you want? Silence. Then closer. You saw. The words felt heavier, more final. I don't understand. You noticed. The air shifted, like something was moving, not around me, through the space itself. And now. The voice paused right at my ear. You remain. The lights cut out again, total darkness. But this time I didn't feel alone in it, because I could hear it. Movement, not footsteps, something adjusting, positioning right behind me, close enough that if I moved, I would touch it. My breathing became uneven. I wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go, no exit, no path, nothing left to try. And then something happened that made everything worse. One of the monitors flickered back on, just one, casting a faint glow across the room. I looked at it. And what I saw made my chest drop completely. It wasn't showing me anymore. It was showing the hallway outside, the normal mall, the real one, bright, clean, open, and someone was walking through it, a worker just like me, cleaning equipment in hand. Following the same route I used to take, my breathing stopped. No, the screen zoomed slightly, following them, tracking like it had tracked me, like it always tracked. The The voice returned, quieter now but closer, vacant. My chest tightened because I understood now that word wasn't about space. It was about position, a role, something that needed to be filled, and I had just taken it. The screen flickered again, and for a split second I saw something behind the new worker. A shape, tall, watching them the same way it watched me. The same way it always watched. And then the monitor went black. The room fell silent again. But this time I didn't feel the fear the same way because something had changed, not around me. Inside me, that panic, that urgency to escape, it was fading, being replaced by something colder, something still, something that didn't want to leave anymore. I didn't turn around, not because I was afraid, but because I already knew what was there. And slowly, without thinking, I stepped forward, toward the monitors, toward the darkness, toward whatever this place wanted me to become. Some places don't need to chase you, they don't need to trap you, because eventually you stop trying to leave. Story, the one who watches. I don't remember deciding to move, I just did. One step forward, then another, toward the monitors, toward the darkness. Toward something that no longer felt unfamiliar. The fear was still there, but it was distant now, muted, like it belonged to someone else. The room didn't feel like a room anymore. It felt like a space that existed outside everything else. No time, no direction, just presence. The monitors flickered again, slowly coming back to life, but this time they weren't showing me. They were showing the Mal, the real one, bright, clean, normal, exactly how it used to look, exactly how I remembered it before all of this. And in the center screen I saw him. The new worker, walking the same path I had taken, same pace, same routine. Unaware, my breathing stayed steady, not because I wasn't scared, but because something inside me already knew what would happen next. The screen followed him from the main hall to the escalator, and then it happened. The escalator started moving, on its own, just like before. The worker paused, confused, looking at it, trying to understand the same moment, the same beginning. And I realized something then. This wasn't random, it wasn't a haunting. It wasn't a mistake, it was a pattern, a process. The Mal wasn't broken, it was functioning exactly how it was supposed to. The escalator carried him up, to the next level, to where it would start. Level 2B. The screen flickered slightly, and for a moment I saw something else. A reflection behind him, a shape, faint, distorted, following. Watching just like before, my chest felt tight, but not from fear, from recognition, because I understood now that wasn't just it, that was me, or at least what I was becoming. The monitors shifted, showing different angles now, different parts of the Mal, but every screen had the same thing, him and something behind him, always just out of sight, always getting closer. A soft sound echoed in the room, not from the monitors, from behind me. I didn't turn, I didn't need to, because I could feel it. That presence, right there, closer than ever. Not watching anymore, not waiting, just existing. The voice returned, quieter now but clearer. You see it. I didn't respond, you understand. The words didn't feel like questions, they felt like confirmation, like something being completed. The monitors flickered again, and suddenly the screen changed, not the Mal. Not the worker, something else. A floor, dark, familiar, level 2B, empty, waiting. The camera slowly moved forward through the hallway, past the open stores toward the center, and then it stopped because something was standing there, in the middle of the frame, still, watching. My breathing stayed steady. Because I knew what I was looking at, the shape, the posture, the way it stood, unnatural, silent, present. It wasn't just the entity anymore, it wasn't just what had followed me. It was what I was becoming, or maybe what I had already become. The voice spoke again. Final this time, you remain. The monitors dimmed slightly. The image of the worker returned, now on level 2, looking at the directory, the same moment, the same realization. Level 2B, he stepped closer, reading it, confused, exactly like I had been, and I felt something shift inside me. Not emotion, not thought, something else. A pull, a connection, like I could see what he saw, like I could feel what he felt, like I was no longer separate from it. The room around me faded, not physically, but in meaning. It didn't matter anymore. Because I wasn't in it, not the same way. I wasn't trapped here. I was part of what made it work, part of what kept the pattern going. The monitors flickered one last time, and for a split second I saw myself again, standing in the hallway, on level 2B. Watching, waiting, just like the figure I had seen before, just like the thing that had followed me. And then everything went still. The mal, the room, the screens, all of it reset, ready for the next person. Some places don't end, they don't collapse, they don't disappear. Because they were never meant to. Story, the one you see last, the first thing he noticed was the silence. Not complete silence, just missing sound, like something that should be there wasn't. The mal had closed hours ago. He knew that. He checked his phone. 10:42 p.m. Same as every night, same shift, same routine. Cleaning crew, start from the top, work down, leave, nothing unusual, at least that's what he thought. He pushed his cart forward. The wheels echoed softly across the tiles, too loud for such a big place, too alone. He reached the escalator and stopped because it was moving, slow, steady. Even though the lights on that side were off, he frowned. That's weird, but not enough to stop, not enough to question, because it still felt normal, just a small mistake, just something he hadn't noticed before. He stepped onto it. And as it carried him up, I watched, not from the monitors, not from the room, but from somewhere else. Somewhere inside the space itself. I could see everything, every movement, every thought, the hesitation, the curiosity. The moment he chose to keep going the same way I had. The escalator reached the top, he stepped off, and paused because the air felt different, colder, still, unfamiliar. He looked around, same layout, same stores, but something felt off. I remembered that feeling perfectly. He walked forward slowly, checking the storefronts, everything closed, everything quiet, until he saw the directory. He stopped, stepped closer, reading it, and there it was. Level 2B. His breathing changed slightly. Confusion, doubt, recognition, the beginning of it. I felt it, like a signal passing through something, like the system acknowledging him. He looked up, and that's when he heard it, footsteps above him, slow. Deliberate, impossible. He frowned, trying to locate the sound, trying to understand it. The same mistake, the same path. I stepped forward, not physically, but into the moment, into the space around him, because now I could. He turned slightly, like he felt something, not fully aware, just enough. And for a second, his eyes moved in my direction. But he didn't see me, not clearly, not yet, because that wasn't how it worked, not at first. The mal shifted slightly, subtle, unnoticeable to him, but I saw it, felt it, the path adjusting, guiding him. The same way it guided me. He moved toward the stairs, not the escalator, the same decision, the same curiosity. And I understood something then. This wasn't coincidence, it wasn't random behavior. The place didn't just react, it influenced, it nudged, it guided choices without forcing them. Until there was only one outcome left. He pushed the stairwell door open, stepped inside, and disappeared from the main floor. The moment he did, level 2B activated, the space unfolded, expanded, prepared, waiting for him for the next part. I was there now, not as myself. Not as a person, but as something inside it, watching from the edges, from the reflections, from the spaces between things. And when he stepped onto that floor, I saw myself, not directly, not clearly, but in pieces, a reflection in the glass, a shadow where there shouldn't be one. A shape at the end of the hall, always just out of sight, always just behind him, the same way it had been behind me, because now I was the thing that followed, not completely, not fully formed, but enough to be part of the pattern. Part of the system, part of what kept it going. He walked deeper into level 2B, the layout shifting around him, the stores opening, the lights flickering, everything beginning again, and for the first time I understood the truth. There was no beginning, no first person, no origin. This had been happening long before me, and it would keep happening long after. Because the mal didn't need people to build it, it needed people to fill it, to observe, to replace, to continue. The monitors, the rooms, the floors that shouldn't exist. They weren't mistakes, they were layers. And each person who entered just moved deeper, until they stopped trying to leave, until they became part of it, like I did, like I am. The worker stopped walking. In the middle of the hallway, he hesitated, like something felt wrong, like something had changed, slowly. He turned his head just slightly, not enough to see but enough to feel, And in that moment, for the first time, he noticed me, not clearly, not fully, just a presence, just a feeling, something behind him, watching, waiting, and I understood what came next. Because I had lived it, because I had become it. And now I was the last thing he would see, if he turned around. If you are new here, subscribe to Tales of the Dark, where every story gives you a nightmare.